Hello, I'm Ryan Beck with Magic Software, and I'm going to show you a quick demonstration of the Magic XPI integration platform. And we're going to integrate Salesforce to JDE World. And the scenario here is that obviously Salesforce is a cloud application, and we want to connect it to our on-premise AS400 iSeries based JDE World. And what we're going to be doing is inputting accounts, new customers into Salesforce, and then we're going to go ahead and see them pop into JDE. So I'm going to get logged in back on the iSeries here, and it's going to actually be JDE 8.1, and of course the other side is just your regular Salesforce.com platform. So I'm going to do an address book search for any customers that start with the letter L, and we don't have too many right now. There's just 4 of them. But we're going to add a new one, and I'm going to input it into Salesforce and have it come over. The idea is that we're going to be basically seeing a real-time or near real-time sync of the data as it comes across. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a new account. It's going to be the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I'm going to go ahead then and make sure that I've set this demo to go to JDE World. So we have Enterprise 1, SAP. I'm going to choose World, and we'll come up with a phone number to put on there, and then maybe an address. Alright, no idea, I'm just faking this up right now. Alright, great. So we've created an account. After I save it, Magic XPI is going to realize there was a business event that happened. It's going to go ahead and create this account and bring back this account number that I parked on. And what that is going to do is basically allow JDE to decide the account number. We do it by using staging tables, but so Magic XPI is going to add it to the staging table in JDE, but then what it's actually going to do is call the RPG program and create it in JDE with using the logic built in. Down here at the bottom, I have the date that you see I saved it at the local time there, and then in a couple seconds we'll come back and we'll see if the account number got updated by Magic XPI. If I refresh the iSeries screen, you can see that the account got added. Tab down to that and open it up, and you'll see it has all the same data that I inputted from the other side synced over. And then back on the Salesforce side, we're going to go ahead and we're going to refresh that, and we're going to see that the account number pops in on the account number field. So that made it full round trip. And that's kind of my guarantee that it made it across. And again, as a user, my experience is that I didn't really have to do anything different. I just entered the record, and it came right across, and I get back the result. If there had been some kind of error, like I put in invalid data, I could have brought that back, but it made it all the way back into the iSeries. This is the Magic XPI Studio, and this is how we actually do the integration. It's what I work with on a daily basis as a Magic XPI developer. And it's made up of these components that are designed to connect to different systems. This one I parked on here is a JDE World component. If I want to talk to World, I just have to drag it over, drop it on the flow, and then configure it. We actually have, in the World component, the ability to pre-configure the connection to your iSeries here, set the libraries you want to connect to. We're actually using an iSeries user, so we're abiding by the security context of the iSeries, and it's actually an Oracle certified adapter. Then you can come in here and you can set up the different objects you want to connect to. So you can give this one a name, and say you want to connect to, say, the address book. So you set the table, the report, the version, and if you want to load it in a job queue, you can say which one you want it to be in. And then that makes it easier later on when you go ahead and get into the component. These will already be preset. So if we dive in, go into the configuration of it, we'll see all the objects that you set up, and So you have the address book, which we're using. I don't know if this one works, actually. I think this is not going to be right. Yeah, so obviously there's some bad information in that one. We'll back up and try another. And let's go ahead and do that one. All right, you can say OK. What it'll do is it does schema discovery, and it shows us all the fields on the Z table for that object we want to call. So we see it in. In a moment, I'll show you how we map into it, but it's basically just exposing all the numbers and alphas as an API, so we can bring it into our visual data mapper. So let me show you one that's already configured. It's actually the same one that ran in the demo we just did. So we'll delete this, and we'll dive in to the configured one. Oh, by the way, if we also have an iSeries component that just allows us to run straight RPG. If you wanted to just go ahead and call any program, that's perfect. It does great things like if you want to do like advanced pricing and you want to call an RPG program and bring back a parameter or something like that. It's actually very useful for that. In this case, we're just also it's actually how we used to call RPG programs, but now it's built into the world component. Okay, let's dive in and see what that looks like. In here we have the left side, which is our Salesforce XML. On the right side is the JDE API that we're calling, which is basically the Z table and the RPG program being put together by this component. And I have our mappings that come over that made the demo work. If we want to modify it a little bit, maybe we'll take the address and we'll map it over, and we're going to make address line 2 work, right? So we've got address line 1 there. We'll hook up line 2. But because Salesforce has it as like a multi-step, what I'm going to do, or a multi-line, I'm going to go ahead and dive in and divide it up. So here we're going to have address line 1, and I'm just going to go ahead and put a statement to cut it into 2 different pieces. So I'll say I want segment 1 of this, and copy it, and I'll use it the same thing for address line 2, but of course obviously we'll change the index number to grab the second one. And there you go. So now we're just doing a little bit of data transformation from this multi-line here in Salesforce, which is a little bit of a different concept from JDE because they have up to 4 lines that you can use. And the idea here is we're trying to make JDE World integration easy. If people that use World are not used to being able to have real-time integration because they don't have the business functions, they don't have the orchestrator, they don't have the BSSV server. None of that's there. So, but we can actually still do real-time integration. So you can do something where you can create a customer and then create the sales order right away. You don't have to wait for job queues to run and things like that on schedules. We can do it all quite interactively. Well, that's all I've got. Thank you for watching the demo. If you have any more questions, you can find us, our contact info at magicsoftware.com. Thank you.